Okay, so
Oh, I got you.
oh gosh. So I go to talk, right? And it goes, "Oh, so you want to update now?" And I go, "No, I don't want to update." And it starts trying to update and I'm like,
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Okay, we're back.
it wouldn't be us without a kerfuffle. So, um here we are with Miss Tawney. She's on Instagram. It's just a hiccup and I think that refers to your health challenges, correct?
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I know Miss Tawney because I was following her, stalking her on Instagram. And then the last time we were able to meet in person at YSC, I ended up being the photographer for the Flatties. Because like I have done some photography work and I didn't want anybody to be left out. And sometimes when you do a timer, it's not so hot, right? So we did one of these like, but I never got to talk to her. So afterwards I kind of hit her up like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't get to talk to you." And we just like have hit it off since then. So I will let you tell the audience a bit about yourself and then we'll go to the not so rapid fire question session.
Alrighty. Well, first, I love you. Um, and yeah, it was great. It was great meeting you there. You're super sweet to me. Let's see. Tawney, 39, diagnosed with breast cancer. Um, Surgeries, chemotherapy, surgeries, hysterectomy. I am estrogen positive. I started on tamoxifen, didn't go super well. So now I'm on anastrozole, hysterectomy. I got diagnosed with epilepsy in this process.
Yay. Oh boy.
Lymphedema, neuropathy. Uh, so I've been going in and out of this journey. I'm still going through it. I have an area in my lungs that we pay attention to. I just recently was good up here. Yeah, trying to figure everything out, trying to figure out if I can stay on anastrozole or not, because my body's super happy with it. I'm starting to have some heart issues, but taking it day by day and having my community to help me through it.
I know that sometimes people worry with the chemo in regards to it creating like I think it's a heart murmur.
Yeah, there's all so many things can happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many different side effects from, I mean, as you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's chemotherapy, it's the medications. Yeah, my heart is definitely not happy right now.
Well, I know that it seems like your life is consumed with doctor's appointments. I know last summer we were in Austin and we tried to meet up.
I know.
Had like this last minute doctor's appointment and I could have kicked the doctor.
I'm super bummed out about that, to be honest with you. I was really looking forward to it, just hanging out and just chatting. Actually, just getting a really good hug from you.
Yeah.
I was disappointed that I wasn't able to get that, Yeah, actually around that time, I actually ended up having another procedure done. Just recently had another procedure done. The doctors, they've been I've been seeing them more than I've been seeing some of my friends, it seems like these days. So
yeah, as long as you like them, but at the same time you're like, can I just go a period of time when I'm not, like, I don't need something.
right, something for real. It's always something, it seems like.
something poopy farty stupid going on with my body. This is coming to me now, and I didn't run this past you, but how were you as artistic before as you were after? Or because I'm looking at how did the cancer diagnosis affect your outlook on life, but what role does your artwork play in your after?
Huge actually. So I love art. I've been doing art. I've been writing my entire life. But I kind of got quiet in certain areas of my art and never shared it, to be honest with you. And then when I got diagnosed, I kind of had like the fuck it mentality and said, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna put myself out there. And I did. I started putting myself out there, started doing more of my art, did collections, had my first art show, which was super amazing. And then I started diving into my writing. And there's a wonderful, can I name drop real quick?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Whoever.
sweet. Yes, sweet. Okay. There's a wonderful magazine called Wildfire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
We
hope,
want
I
to
hope a
name
lot of
drop that
y'all
big
know
time.
about it. Yeah. And if you don't, please.
I gotta get her. I need a list.
Oh yes, go check them out if
I need a
if you
list.
haven't. It's amazing magazine. It's uh just stories of amazing humans that have been diagnosed, caregivers. It's just a whole gamble of an amazing things, and all has to do with the diagnosis of cancer. So if you haven't checked it out, please do. So then I started doing a lot of her stuff, and she kind of, it was like she helped me find the right key,
Yeah.
and it was like everything just exploded. And then I kind of dived more into my art and did all kinds of stuff. I did some art bras for an event called Art Bra Austin in Austin, Texas, that I do every year. And I design really cute, amazing bras that get auctioned off, and the funds go to an organization. And so it's allowed me to get out feelings of just all confusion, happy, angry, sad, depression, anxiety, you name it. And I was able to put it out. It helped me a lot through cancer. I think if I didn't dive into cancer, I'd probably be a lot worse than I am with my depression and PTSD regarding my journeys of
100%. Yeah.
healing, yeah,
Because then
100%.
it has somewhere to go and
Yes.
you have somewhere to put it.
Yes.
Whereas without it, you just carry it around. And like when I was doing CrossFit, there's so much of it that's like stuck. And it's not necessarily like, oh, people go, oh, you just want to talk about it. You can't, there aren't words.
Yeah.
So even
Kind
if,
of freeing in that moment too. Do you feel?
what's that?
Do you feel like you were kind of free in that moment too?
Oh, completely, because it's not something you could say, oh, I have this this angst about my body, or this um constant feeling that it's like broken, because my whole life I felt like it was broken, because I had what I call baby giraffe syndrome, where your body grows way faster than your neurological system. And so like it was very hard for me to like do PE and stuff like that, because I couldn't, like if you're doing tennis, I couldn't line the racket up with the ball to like save my life. Um, and so I just felt like I was completely inept at doing anything physical. And then you're like lifting weights and shit, and people are like, how are you pressing 90 pounds? I'm like, oh, I don't know. You're just like, you're just doing it. And then you're working through like this internal conversation you have with yourself, where you're like, you're useless, you're a piece of shit, your body's never been any good to you, and now look what it's doing. It's so awful that it's turning on you. And you'll have this like internal voice like, I told you you were a piece of shit. And then you're such a piece of shit, your own body's trying to kill you. And then you're having this internal conversation where with this, and you're like, no, it's not. Look at this. Look at this shit. You see this shit? You see this shit?
Like,
You
I
like
got
it?
it. I got it.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. Right. So the same with like painting, you're having this like internal conversation where someone might not be able to read or feel or know what you're experiencing, but you
Yeah.
have it coming out. There's this great
Yeah.
scene in Daredevil where the uh the bad guy has this love for art, and he wants this one piece, and you look at it and it just looks like a couple of smudges. It like doesn't mean anything. And then they give like this backstory about there's this wall that his dad used to beat him up against, and it
Mm,
looked just like the wall. So it
mm.
was like, you never know how your artwork is gonna affect someone else, because it might have the same kind of a like a reaction where they
Oh
look at
yeah,
it and they go, that
definitely.
reminds me of the ceiling I used to stare at, you know,
Oh
when I was a
yes.
kid or something like that. And then um, other people will go like, it just looks like I'm
Well, there's always going to be someone that's going to say
yeah,
something, you know, and that's
yeah,
why when I got diagnosed, I said, well, I'm going to do it, because there's always going to be someone, and there's always is someone that's going to say something, you know,
yeah,
whether it, I mean, it could be anything these days, and someone's going to have something to say. So you might as well give them something to say, you know, to talk about, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and I mean, they're talking about you. So, I mean,
Because
you're doing something right.
my daughter and I have come up with this term. Um, we're like, you got to give them the old razzle dazzle.
Yes,
and then
exactly.
and then we do like one of these. We're like, give them the old razzle dazzle, you know. And then because we're like, it's like people expect it from you. I don't know if you could see my one leg was kicking out. I don't know if people come to expect it from you, you know, and you're like, why hold back anymore?
Oh yeah, you can't.
Why
I,
hold
at
back?
least
There,
I can't.
it's
I can't.
I. I'm probably you gotta like turn it around as like I'm the black sheep. You're kind of like without me, they didn't even have anything to talk about. Their life would be so boring. There'd be no controversy like in between them. They would just like the day would just come and go without any excitement if it wasn't for me. You know, the same with like strangers. Um
I love strangers.
um like I told my husband about like somebody's wife the other day, and I was like, man, she has a lot of tattoos. And he goes, well, how many do you have? Uh
A lot.
I I don't know. I don't have I don't have a number. And so he goes,
Hmm.
well, you don't think that people think you have a lot. I said, oh, I've heard people say that they're like random, which makes me just want to have more like random ass. Like I got a tattoo of a pizza wizard the other day. And I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I just
God.
can't wait for people to go, what is
Pictures.
that? I'll be like, it's a pizza wizard. But
I have
like,
some pizza on me too.
yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Um, just walking out who you are, like it gives little kids in particular, because um they still don't have like all that self-doubt and stuff that's in there. um they still have somewhat of a free mind, and they'll just be like, I want to look like that one day, or like I want to have
Yeah.
a pizza wizard one day, or you know, Kermit the Frog drinking a cup of tea, or like whatever the thing happens to be. Just the way you live your life itself is like an art piece, you know. And I know you live that way too. Is it has you have you become more like outgoing in that regard since diagnosis, or
I've
I'm
always
sure.
been a free spirit.
Yeah,
I've always been a free spirit. I think since I've been diagnosed, how do I say this? I it is truly a fuck it, like just do it. So I do it. I'll go. I don't care. I'll put myself out there, you know.
yeah,
A couple of years ago, I tried to put myself on a cover of a magazine. I just said, do it. I've never have done that before, but I
yeah,
said, do it. So I do it.
yeah,
Traveled, um, I'll meet up with, like doing group things, and stuff I would have never done previously before I was diagnosed. Um, so just getting myself out there more, putting myself out there more. I've been doing that, sharing more of myself, sharing more of my story, because I am uh, I've been in fight or flight since I was born.
Yeah.
I grew up in a very interesting home. I was out on my own at a very, very young age. Dealt with drugs. Was in a severe car accident. Had some other health stuff going on. So I've been going and fighting, going and fighting, going and fighting. But life to me has always been super wonderful, and I've always enjoyed it. Being diagnosed, I see it even more beautiful. I don't want a lot of things. I want more of nature, more conversation,
Yeah.
more connection with people, more realness,
Yeah.
than stuff. And expressing, so that's like through art and stuff like that, and sharing, not being scared to share and just doing it.
Yeah.
It's all kind of all part of it, I think. Yeah.
Let's see. Had you had anyone significant pass before you were diagnosed? And how has losing people after, I mean, you said you were in a pretty significant car accident, so that would make you, your mortality very real. But how has losing people since then, like, how has it affected you? Some people have never had anybody like significant
Oh
ever
yeah.
go or go suddenly. And
No, I've had loss my whole life.
yeah.
I've experienced loss, starting with my one of my grandfathers. So I've experienced death throughout my whole life. I've had a lot of people. I've had some really close friends die. Right before I was diagnosed, a really good really good childhood friend, best friend, in moments of my life. Her name was Lonnie. We met super, super young, early teens, and she was diagnosed with cancer. And unfortunately, she didn't make it. And then a year and a half later, I was diagnosed. And I struggled with it a lot, but I always felt that she was kind of always with me in my journey. And then meeting, my cancer community, I wasn't prepared for the loss that I was going to be losing in the community, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The connections that I was going to make, and the rate in which I was going to lose people.
Right.
Because it seemed like it was really quick, and all of a sudden, like, oh, this is my reality. I have to take a step back and kind of really assess what I was putting myself in,
Totally.
in.
I think that part of it makes connecting with people that you really vibe with like more urgent.
Definitely.
Because the first year we photographed anybody, we lost one of the metastatic patients. We lost her before the calendar even came out. And it was like, I haven't even known her a year. And she taught me so much about, not only was it like what she taught me, but like who she was as a person. I don't think I've been to a funeral where there was so many people. Oh my gosh, there were so many people. And it was like a testament to like who she was as a person, and the fact that like she had all these people and she reached out to me to be a part of my project, something that like I hadn't done before. And so that would hit me really, really hard. And then I had another friend that I met through, and this is like how serendipitous like the universe works. It's like I just reached out on like a YSC page about like needing a roommate, and I hadn't met her until we were in Atlanta. She walks in the room and goes like, I brought this poopery in case one of us blows it up in the bathroom. And I was like, holy fuck. Like, it's like, how do you know, like,
How you know me,
how do you know fart humor is like my go-to,
right?
and then we didn't have her very long at all. And the thing that I found out about like meeting people in this way is they are a lot more real with you than they are with the people that are close to them,
Yeah.
because there's like barriers to telling them like how much you're hurting me with your behavior, and how much I know that you're taking advantage of me because I don't look like I'm sick, like, and this stuff like that goes on. And then you really get to see what it's like, whereas they hold that stuff apart from their spouses sometimes even.
Oh yeah.
And
Definitely.
it just to me feels like a privilege that I get to be in these people's lives, because they're at their worst. They wouldn't have ever wanted to like meet somebody new
Right.
at at that stage in the game, and to
Yeah.
have them see them that way. But it just drives me forward towards them more, because I've seen them turn around, and to be able to enjoy what they have left of their life, because it's so unpredictable, and people will go on for years and be in excruciating pain and stuff. And then
Yeah.
other people, like the first one we lost, she was at a Padres game on Friday and was gone on Tuesday, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's so unpredictable, but I just feel like such an honor to know like all of these really great people.
Right.
And I'm grateful to cancer for that,
Definitely.
because otherwise, like I have a very hard time making friends otherwise, because because probably yours is probably the same reason as mine, is you wear so much on the outside, right? And so it's like you come off as scary.
too real.
Yeah. People like, I can't deal without this facade, like, and it's more and more and more of the facade falls away all the time, and I'm sure you feel like that. And but that, I think that's a gift people don't realize you get as a result of being chronically ill, is the urgency to like rip rip all your flesh off and yeah, walk around, what how would you like to be remembered?
Ooh.
You're like, pass.
No, I want to be remembered as someone that was selfless and that was kind. Selfless and kind would be something that I would love that to leave behind. And people, like, when people think about me, they would say that about me.
That's beautiful. What would you like your last day to look like? Have you had a couple of days? So like, I'm sure you've had horrible like days, weeks, months. Like I've been sick for a couple of days, and my little one's like, oh, it's been so long since we've done anything. And I'm like,
how are you feeling?
What are you talking about? And she's like, oh, like the last 5 days. And I'm like, so when I was sick, there was 3 months when I couldn't do anything. And it's just like they have like this like pea brain where they like it doesn't register like 5 days. And then I turn it around like, oh, poor you. I've had to sit around while I'm like, dying over here
What?
and can't breathe, and you're all like, and then my oldest son, who's 17 now, was like 7 or 8 when I got diagnosed with cancer. And I said, I'm sorry if I was a dick to you when I was sick. I go, but you would literally come to me and say, Garrett's trying to kill me. He said he's gonna rip my head off and shit down my throat or whatever. And I'm like, I'm dying. And then you just like, like he goes,
Oh,
I know. And I'm like, I'm sorry if I didn't seem like I was sympathetic, but you'd come to me with like, I like can't even hold my head up on the couch, like Garrett won't. And I'm like, I'm dying.
I can't believe
But
you had to do that.
he goes, oh, I know I didn't handle it very well. And I'm like, I'm sorry if I was a dick to you. But it was just hard to, and it's still hard to have somebody come to you with something like really minute and you go like, try having your tits ripped cut off.
You don't.
And then I try, depending on who it is, I try to make it like as crass as possible. Like, because
Okay.
it's like the stupidest question that, oh, I have a splinter. Will you let me get the splinter out of your finger? Oh no, it hurts so bad. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it doesn't hurt anything like having my tits cut off. And then they just, what?
I love that.
But it's a
I
perspective.
love that.
I don't remember where I was going. Oh. But I was gonna say, after you've had days like that where you're just like, the end of the day comes and you're like, I still have a pulse, right?
Yeah.
What are the kinds of days that make you like, this is what I lived for? This is what I'm so glad I didn't die then, because then I wouldn't be able to do like this. Like,
Oh. There's so many things every day that I'm thankful that I get, to the days that I've been able to travel and see different parts of the world, the days that I've been able to meet some wonderful humans that have been battling cancer. I'm thankful that I get to see all my nieces and nephews grow. I'm thankful that I get to connect with nature. I've been connecting with nature on such a deep level since my, diagnoses, and I believe it's so healing. And so I'm thankful for that. Even the hard days, the shitty days, the days that I've been struggling recently, and even though I have moments that I don't like it, I'm still very thankful that I wake each day for those reasons. Yeah. I think it's changed so much over the years.
like, what did it used to be and what is it like now?
I think I used to want more material things, want to have to like work, really hard to have this or that,
Yeah.
And now I'm just kind of just thankful just to be here, just thankful to be alive, and that, even if it's just getting up and making tea, shitting and complaining, and because I'm upset about the day, at least I get up to be, complaining and shitty about the day, and having my drink,
Yeah.
because there's so many beautiful, people that I know that aren't here. So every day that I get to be here is a day for also them, that I'm here and I'm fighting. I get to be here, and I'm gonna be thankful because you haven't been, because you're not here. That's also a part of it, because this is such a scary illness, you don't know, we know there's been, people that, have, we've heard they literally didn't wake up the next morning because they had a heart attack, in the middle of the night, we just all got done talking to them,
Yeah.
So because of those reasons too, so I'm going to bitch and complain that I'm having a hard day, or it's an amazing day, whichever day, it is,
Yeah.
good, bad day, but still thankful for it each day.
Yeah. This wasn't planned either. What's, if you knew you had the clock was short, what place would you go to that you've been to before? Like a last visit.
A last visit
Yeah.
would be any park. I wouldn't care, any park in the world. Beautiful, perfect 76 day on the grass with the blanket and a whole bunch of trees. So when I'm laying down, I can just see all the canopies just dancing right above me.
Yeah.
I don't care where I'm at. That, and or being on a beach with just the water and the ocean, hearing it, crashing on the shore, would be my second if I could choose another. But yeah, being in nature, I don't care where, just plot me in nature right there. I mean, middle lake with rocks. I don't care, as long as I get to be in nature. Like even like I had conversation with my sister about like if times do get hard for me, that I will be in nature. I will be in nature. Anyone that's out there and y'all know me, I will be in nature.
I've seen it said, and I don't know how often it was done, but because like the cost of living is so low in certain other countries, right? Like people forego the whole, like say, I decided I'm going to stop treatment, right? So then you just like pull up all the anchors and then you go somewhere where you can live on like $14 a day or something, but it's like stunning, right? And then that would be the best. You don't want to die in my mom was in an adult care facility. You don't.
I don't want people to visually see me that way.
Right.
I don't yeah, no, I don't want that to be what the last thing that they see of me when they close their eyes or they think about me, because that will be the first thing, that they see.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Just go somewhere like, like Colombia or somewhere like that, where like the cost of living per day is not, and then
yeah, right. Just kind of sell everything and just like,
yeah, and just go like.
I thought about that a few times. Selling all my shit and just go and get in a little camper somewhere and be in the middle of the environment, just Mother Nature, just letting it, just going, enjoying it as much as I possibly can, connecting to it as much as deep as I could, and just
you're gonna go back to that same feeling anyway. That's why I'm gonna get all esoteric now. That's why it feels like that when you're there, because it's like you're in the presence of the universe.
Oh yeah, 100%.
When you're there. So
I believe that I'm connected to everything.
Yeah.
So when I'm out there, I feel it so much, I feel it like when I'm just around people, but it's
well, and that's that's where we all came from, and that's where we're all going. Definitely. Is that same feeling. And what better than that to be surrounded by when you're on your way anyway.
100%.
um
100%. There's these new things now.
are you going to talk about the pod?
Yes.
Please do.
How amazing. I'd be all for it. I mean, okay, one, and I'm just, because I'm all about trying to save the environment as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So one, you won't have those containers,
Yeah.
And they range, right? I mean, I just saw one just recently. I mean, there's some detail and money that just went into this beautiful thing, and it's super amazing, but like, put me in a pod where I can actually grow this beautiful tree into this amazing thing that just, I mean, so I would, in a heartbeat, that'd be something that would be super cool, but I'd rather be, I'm going to be the type of person that's going to get cremated.
Yeah. The girl we had on last episode has like these, I want to say jute, but I don't think that's what it's made out of. It's like a cotton, like a basket, and it's big enough that you can put a tree like in it, and then you're in the bottom of it.
Like
And I've seen the ones where you can put like the whole person, but the thing is with that,
well, you can decompose and then
yeah.
grow up into it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, these ones were more like you got cremated and they created a special mixture that goes inside of it to offset how acidic like the ashes are. And then you could choose to be, because she was talking about how her father wanted to be an Italian Cypress and was like the most stoic dude in the world.
cool.
And it was like, I want to be one of those. And
Very cool.
she goes, he was always a scary guy. And like, I walk past that tree and just jump sometimes, like, I'm like, that's so funny. You just have to have,
Do a branch out and touch it.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'd be spooked.
My aunt passed away and we put her in a Japanese maple.
Oh.
Yeah, at a park that I grew up when I was younger.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's some cool ways that you
just have to have like your people that know what you want, because or have some kind of like legal documentation like written up that says what you want.
Yes.
And it's not morbid to like search out a place or without permission find a spot that you would like to be.
Yeah. Did you read my joke the other day about so I'm repeating this.
Okay.
But I would love to be scattered around Disneyland, but I do not want to be cremated.
Ew! Well, there's a book called Behind the Ears. I read it early 90s. I think it was before I had kids. And in the book, there's a death toll per ride. And those of us that are octogenarians and crusty like myself will remember the people mover, but we all affectionately called it the people remover because of how many people it like dismembered. Oh. So, but all the people most of the people that were hurt, I'd say like 95% of the people that were hurt were all because they didn't obey the rules. So
yeah,
if you can't obey the rules, like, don't come at me like, oh, my little Timmy, like Timmy should have stayed his ass in the people remover. And I'm sorry that your kid was dumb and tried to crawl from one to the other. he's probably the reason why they have those like do not eat on those silica packs inside your shoes, because dumb kids. But that would be a great way to go though. Like my daughter always talked about like wanting to get her arm ripped off by a shark. Like, and she's just like, wouldn't that be the coolest story though? People would be like, what happened to you? And it wouldn't be like, oh, I tried to crawl from one, car to the other on the people remover. It'd be like, I got bit off by a shark. Like, that's badass right there. At least you have a cool story,
No
Um,
way.
but
I would never want to get bit by a shark.
I wouldn't really want to either. I think she was more looking at like the like cool fact.
The story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
I always told them that, and you could do the same thing if you wanted. If people ask you a stupid question, you're more than allowed to give them a stupid answer. Unfortunately, I don't think that fast. I wish I could. I could usually only do it if somebody's really pressing me. But I wish I could just off the cuff, like just dumb shit to strangers. That'd be and another case if I made that guy's day. You got to make it exciting. You don't owe anybody that you don't know. You don't owe them anything. So why not make it more exciting? It's more entertaining for you, more endorphins, anybody that's like battled depression knows the struggle with, the happy chemicals, serotonin and whatnot. Some of us just don't make very much of it.
And find humor everywhere we can.
Right. And if you don't make very much of it, like you got your gettings where you can,
get your giggles in where you can get your giggles
in. Right. That's probably why I giggle about so much stuff. Or like when little kids trip or throw up.
I can make my own self laugh. There's times I've fucking laughed at myself for like 20 minutes at a time.
Okay, the day I don't think I'm funny is the day that I will call the paddy wagon on myself. Because just the dumb shit that goes through my head. Luckily I have TikTok now and I get to do like I get to let a lot of that stuff out, I need to it's fun.
I need to check your thing out.
Yeah, it's fun. I put them on my stories and it's that and
on IG?
On Facebook. On Facebook.
Oh, I'm not on Facebook.
And some of them I put them on Instagram sometimes, but it's just fun. You get like, and there's like random sound bites where you can like lip sync them and stuff. It's just
entertainment.
It's so much fun.
Like YouTube rabbit holes.
Yeah, except you'll go down TikTok rabbit holes, but the nice thing is that the longest one is like 3 minutes. So like if you're waiting at the doctor's office, you can just like knock out a couple and get a couple of giggles in like before you have to
do anything serious.
Yeah. So we talked about ideally what you would like your burial to be like, but what would you want your funeral to be like?
I don't want a funeral.
You don't want a funeral?
I do not. When I pass, I want to be cremated and I want to be placed in individual, but so anyone that wants to take this, you're more than welcome to take this advice too, if you like the idea.
That's part of like what I want to the aim of what this question is a lot of people just go, I don't know.
Oh no, I know.
And so like I want to be able to have these different ways of doing things, because we've only ever experienced the funerals that we've experienced,
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so we don't know what it's capable, what is the possibility is for even a funeral.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be standard. Like it can be whatever you want.
Oh, definitely. Oh yeah, that's like for me, I want to be cremated. I want to be placed in a whole bunch of little bit of bottles.
Yeah.
Anyone that wants one of me, please take one of me. Ask for some of me. Put me at your special place,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
That's
you know,
great.
blow me in some glass. You know,
Yeah.
put me in I'll put a time thing. You know, I'll play some games with you. Whatever, however you feel that you want to
They can put it in a
remember.
tattoo now, so they could do
I
that
mean,
too.
anything.
They
You
put
know,
it in your
that's
tattoo
how I
ink.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and if anyone wants to have something for me, have it fun. People know I like to dress up. Have y'all dress up, you know, have it be more of could be a spiritual thing, you know, there'll be sound bowls and, you know, I mean, I just will not have anything where there's a building and people come in and they talk about me and stuff like that. No. Mm-mm. Nope. So if anyone finds out that I'm passed and y'all want some of me, just you'll ask.
Oh my God. Oh my
And then
God.
just sprinkle me wherever you find necessary.
Oh my gosh. I've there was this show, I forget what it was called exactly, but I'm sure you could Google some of it. And it was like the most outrageous funerals. And there was a place in like, I want to say it was Atlanta, but I could be mistaken. And they did some crazy shit. And it was like a quinceanera and a bar mitzvah and like a coming out party and like a debutante ball and
Like an all-in-one or
yeah, and it was like shit, yeah, like it
love
could
that.
it could be like however you wanted. And
Yes.
me you'd be the person to share this with if I was ever going to share this publicly. Me and my daughter have this like joke where she's going to get like a casket and then she's going to put hydraulics on it, and then we're going to get one of those like smog machines, but it's going to have like weed in it, so it like
It's everyone eye.
yeah, so then the casket's going to be like, you know, like gin and juice or something like that. It's going to be on, and it's going to be like coming down the aisle on hydraulics, right? But I'm going to be in it. And the point is to try and bounce it so hard that like my carcass like falls out like into the aisle. And then like they have to do like Mr. Bean style, like picking it up and put it back in, you know, just to just like everybody just go like clutch the pearls, like
Oh my gosh.
you know, and just like a shit show. And then people will be like half getting buzzed because of the like the smoke that it's gonna look like theatrical
You're like, are
fog.
we at a funeral or
Right,
where
right. Are we like at a car show, or you know, and then have like have like those have like the low riders that have like that hop so high that they have to have like a remote out like in the parking lot like this.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
You know, just kind of like a huge like what the fuck moment, you know, because
Did you hear about that guy that left the recording?
uh
So it was everyone's around his funeral, and I guess someone played the last recording that he recorded, and you hear him like knocking, like he's like, "Hey guys, I'm in here. You guys, hello." Yeah.
Oh my
Really
God.
funny. Good stuff. That'd be something I would have pulled if I was
But
going to be.
you know, maybe some people really are like that serious, and I'm sorry if that your life is that serious, and I'm sorry if whoever hurt you or told you had to be quiet like when you were a kid all the time, or that it wasn't okay to laugh. But like being gone's a bummer, right? You miss all these people and all these fantastic human beings that, you know, like we get the the privilege of getting to meet. But the thing is like, they don't want it, I don't know, well, depending on the person. They wouldn't necessarily have wanted it like that, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Like, I don't even know how many fart jokes I'm going to tell it like my dad's, you
it's,
know?
I think if people just put our egos aside for a second and really
What?
knew someone and
Yeah.
knew what they wanted,
Yeah.
um, things would be a lot different when it came to stuff like
Yeah.
that, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but I'm hoping, also too, because things are changing. There's been a lot more things over the years that I've seen that people do that I wouldn't have ever thought previously,
Yeah.
seeing things, I mean, even when my aunt passed away, putting her in the tree, in the maple tree, I was like, oh, this is super amazing. I
Yeah.
even had a piece of glass blown with her in it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's rad. And then hearing about the pods, the trees, and
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they'll get to be a point where maybe people won't even, I mean, I know religion has sometimes, not bringing up religion, but I know that has some to play in the reasons why
Yeah.
people get cremated and why people get
Yeah.
buried.
Yeah.
Um, but maybe that will change over time. People will see it differently, because it's more about the honoring the person than it is where you're placing them or how you're placing them. So it's just about the celebration. And I think if people really understood people more, and did what people would want, it would be more of that, I think.
Yeah. And less of like you know, oh, well, it has to be like this way,
Well, the
um,
structure, the typical, setting, we'll say.
and then that's why it's like, so like, I've heard people say, I don't want to have an open casket because I don't want people to like remember me that way. But
Yeah.
honestly, like everyone I've seen in an open casket, it's not like a horror show. Like my grandma, my grandma just looked like she was sleeping. They did a fantastic job with my grandpa. Um, my mom looked more beautiful than she'd ever looked in shit, like 30 years. My mom looked like Snow White. And
Wow.
my my cousin that passed recently, he looked better. His family said he'd look better than he had in like that last 5 years.
Wow. See,
So
that's insane.
so sometimes like you have this idea that you're gonna remember them like as they, as they are, but um the places that really do it and prepare the bodies for viewing, um this like reanimator type stuff, like level, like
Yeah.
we kept
Oh no, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. There's beautiful makeup artists that
and
do amazing work.
like with my cousin, we kept expecting him because he always played pranks all the time, so we were expecting him to like jump out, because he would play jokes all the time. And so like you're kind of half expecting, like you're looking over your shoulder because he looks so real and so there, and
Yeah.
you just expect him to like jump out. But it would be the seeing them, like if they were in a car accident or something like that, or having to ID the body or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be more scarring than seeing them in an open casket, because they do such a beautiful job. And it's such a blessing to have people that want to do stuff like that. The same with people that do like taxidermy on pets and stuff.
Right.
It
Yeah.
takes a special person to want to honor a body and a person and a loved one in their life enough to endure the public's repulsion at, someone once the spirit's gone. It's like, um that's just the car you're currently driving, that's not It's not anything more than the car you're currently driving. You
Yeah.
drove another car before this. You're gonna drive another car after this.
Well,
Like,
this is just the shell.
right, it's just the car
a
you're
shell.
currently like.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you upgrade and sometimes you downgrade. Like, but there's such a stigma around it. And in our community in particular, like you said, you aren't prepared for the amount of loss you're going to face. And my friend Jenica said the other day, she's like, I don't know how you do it. And I said, I got like 6 at least, like, unresolved deaths. I just don't, and I'm not giggling because it's funny. I'm giggling because it's like I don't know if I'll ever get over them.
Yeah.
And
I don't-
how do
yeah,
you
I don't-
get
I don't
over
think
somebody like that? It's
it's
like
not.
you go your whole life and you're meeting, like, I don't know about you, but like I never really met someone that was like magical, really, until there's one. But I never really met somebody that just like so got me, right? So magical. And then it's like, look at this possibility of what a human being can be like. And then they're gone. And then you're like, the fuck was that?
Right.
What?
I'm so thankful I got to have whatever I
Right.
had with
Because
them.
otherwise, I mean, people go their whole lives and all they ever see is like, commonplace, run of the mill people. And then they don't ever get to meet someone that's magical. And be drawn to them and be like, I just don't even know what this,
And
what's this all about?
we've been fortunate to meet
Yeah.
tons of magical.
Yeah. And I almost think the first, one of the first truly magical people that I ever met said, yeah, all of us at one point in time had something like this within our life that made us this way. And that's why you're like, you identify with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that sounds kind of vague, but like,
I don't think so if you've gone through it.
yeah, it's almost like in Coco where he gets to go cross over to the other side and then comes back, right? So then he's just not even the same person anymore. And he can't even look at the world the same once he's been on that other side where it's like, oh, there's all these people here and all these people know me and all these people love me. And then I get back on this other side. You just don't walk in the same world anymore.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to be placed back in that world where I didn't know or feel or be able to like vibe with anybody that was just regular.
No.
And I tell my kids, I'm like, if you're ever like in public and someone is staring at you and you can't tell why, like it's almost like you're naked, right? It's so intense, it's like you're naked. They can see that on you. They can see that, like, that sparkle on you because you're magical and they've never seen it before. And don't let it be off-putting. It's just they've never, and that's why the kids at school pick on you and so on and so forth, because you got sparkles coming out your ass and out your ears, and
You're different.
Yeah.
And people that it's when they're not, when you're different because you don't fit the norm, it can be scary. It can be triggering, because then it's all of a sudden like it's resonating or not resonating. It's doing something to you and you're not sure what
Right.
but it's doing something to you,
Right.
you know, good or bad. I mean,
Right.
but yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That's great. A great thing to tell your kids too.
Thanks. Well, I think we've run the gamut here. And I just so appreciate you coming on here, and I just love you to pieces. And
As I do you. Thank you so much.
we go through Texas all the time, and we love Austin. So we are sure to meet up one of these times, and I will hug the shit out of you at that
Oh,
point in
rain
time.
or shine, I don't care. You'll have my address. I don't care. Rain or shine, even if I'm doing, if I got a doctor's, I mean, because you've been through there now. So I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, I don't
yeah,
care. Even if I'm
yeah,
having a doctor thing, you can show
yeah,
up.
yeah. I will. And
Thank you for chatting with me.
you're welcome. Um I just been
Thanks for inspiring so many.
oh,
'Cause you inspire so many, just so you know.
oh
Because I started following you before I even met you. And when I met you, I remember sitting at the table and seeing you across, and we hadn't chatted or anything just yet. And then afterwards, we had talked about us not being able to, and us just connecting. I was just like, yeah. And then, you know, all the stuff that you do with the calendar by, you know, empowering, you know, all these amazing humans to let them see how fantastic they are is something pretty amazing that you do. So.
thank you. It's been feeling very defeating since I haven't been able to do a whole lot, like in the last 3 years basically. And so I keep
Ain't
feeling
your fault.
I keep feeling like it's so like it started out photographing people, but that is so like that's just like the icing, you know, or
Well, look at these, you know, you're
yeah,
doing videos,
yeah.
you know, I mean,
Oh, and
it's,
it's so much fun. And I always feel like I'm gonna have a hard time planning, and then like somebody else comes across my feed and I'm like, oh, she'll talk to me. I haven't talked to her for a while, you know. And then you just get the greatest stuff out, and I just love doing this. So thank you. And this wasn't
yeah.
supposed to be about me. This is supposed to be about you. So thank you.
Oh no, I mean, you know, it flowed well. It
Yeah.
was great. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. So
Enjoy the rest of your day, yes, or
check
evening.
out Tawney on It's Just a Hiccup on Instagram. And is your artwork on there too?
No, but I think there might be a connection on my thing that tells you
Okay.
where if you want to see some of it.
Awesome. All right. I'll talk to you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
Bye.